Jump in there and tell them we're back or something.
I said we were back. I had to switch back to Cat 5.
Ooh, I like that guy's face. Okay. There it is. There's that skull. I'm in. All right.
There's that dented beetle.
What?
That's a line from
All right.
Truman Show.
Let's just freaking go.
Let's do the damn thing.
If we drop out again, I'm like making no promises about any of that. But I think I might have solved some of those problems. Oh my god, where are my bumpers?
Ooh, we still have five viewers.
Well, here we are. Alright, let's go. Bumpers coming up. Starting at the top again. Because we got 5 minutes in and that was it. That was it. That was it. Okay. Ready?
Ben, now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
Hello and welcome to episode 89 of the Usual Podcast where we discuss Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Star Wars franchise, and geek and pop culture. I'm your host, Marshall, on this take two night of I don't even know what's happening.
Should we even just call it 89.5?
Yeah, 89.5. I'm your host, Marshall, and with me is my co-host, Will. Say hello, dude.
Caught me as I was taking a sip of my frosty, well, not quite frosty beverage any longer.
Well, we're enjoying them. We have been for a while, so What are you drinking, dude?
I am drinking a Spaten Franziskaner Weissbier Hefeweizen from a brewery that's been around since 1363.
It's a long time.
And I'm drinking that in honor of my brother.
Yeah, my brewery's not as old, but it's super yummy. West Coast IPA from Green Flash Brewing Company from San Diego.
We always hit some of their stuff when we go down there, don't we?
Indeed. I go to as many breweries as possible.
Yeah, we do.
There's hella breweries down there.
We hit all the spots.
All the spots. Anyway, before we get started, if you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Well, sometimes Twitch. You can find me at Darth Pops on Twitter. Will can be found at I am Will Griggs. We're on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. If you see us on those things, give us a positive rating. It's been a while. We would love it if you give us a star or two. Give us a word like yes, no, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, something. I don't know. It's been stagnant for too long. Help us out.
It's been a while.
Been a while. Timestamps in the show notes. If you're not a SWTOR fan, you can skip past that and go straight to Star Wars and pop culture. We got a ton of good stuff today. And we're going to watch a few trailers, I think, if we are still awake.
Time permitting.
Time permitting. But anyway, thank you to people in the chat room that have actually stuck around this long. We are a smooth hour and a half past the time we usually record because
hour 45.
We had way too many tech issues for a person on very little sleep and full-time daddy duty this week.
And very few calories.
Oh my God, I haven't even eaten today. So here's the thing, guys. My wife's out of town. I want to give a quick shout out to my sister-in-law.
Oh, dude, she's on fire right now.
And I'll put a link in the show notes to this. My sister-in-law wrote a play. That is premiered last night at the Lincoln Center.
That is the Lincoln Center in downtown Manhattan, fellas.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. Most of my family's out there right now, so I'm here with my children and doing all the things I normally don't do and trying to coach golf and teach and all this stuff. I'm taking tomorrow off, so I'm trying to get through this, but it's been a long week.
Just to kind of follow up on Brenda's play there for a second, not only is it getting rave reviews, it got picked as a Critics' Choice in the freaking New York Times.
New York Times that came out today. Her name is Brenna Turner, and it's
the play is called Bull in a China Shop. So if you just Google Bull in a China Shop Turner, It'll come up. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. So most of my family's out of town, so I'm running on fumes this week.
I've been picking up the girls all week.
Yeah, thank goodness for you, sir. Anyway, so thanks for bearing with us. If you're still here, thank you very much. And we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna have a hell of an 89 show. Before we get to SWOTOR, I want to reiterate we have our hashtag SWOTOR superhero contest running until Wednesday of next week. And really, what this comes down to is you have time, and dress your favorite SWOTOR tune as your favorite fandom. I said that wrong.
You know, actually, I think I'm going to try to come up with one just to, even though I can't enter and everything.
You can't win.
I'm
not giving you any prizes.
I think I'm going to create my my Sith warrior as the vigilante.
There you go. That's tight.
Because I think that could somewhat be done.
Yeah, I think you could do that. So bottom line, we have a Smuggler's Bounty box, socks from Pippi's Longstocking, Star Wars socks specifically. We have game codes for 30-day subs and 450 cartel coins up for grabs. So you still have some time to enter that. We'll post on Twitter this week to remind you, and we'll announce the winners on episode 90.
Episode 90 next week.
Crazy, man. All right, so let's get to Star Wars The Old Republic before I pass on. Or pass on.
You want to fight? I'm ready. You want to fight? I'm ready.
You do not have to stand against me. Instead, I will share all of this with you if you will only kneel.
I like that. Steve's asking if you're one of my children, and yes, he is. All right,
does
so
that mean I have
on.
to call you Daddy?
There's enough of that going around. So here we are. Community shoutouts, real quick. I want to give a shout out to our guild, Unholy Alliance, A Wookiee Mistake, and our awesome WOG group. I did not do anything in game this week outside of WOG, but I've been slacking on getting the things posted on the website and all this stuff. Like I said, it's been a crazy week, so I want to give thanks to those guys. And I really love that community, and WOG has been a ton of fun. So we did EV this week, since you're asking what I did this week. We did EV this week. It was a nice smooth run. Right? EV? Yeah, EV. I tanked as usual. We had a wipe or two on the first boss. I think we were trying to dual tank it. Other than that, all good. So I didn't get much of anything, but that's okay.
You went up to me because I could not log in once. I haven't even updated the last patch because there's been so much other stuff. There's another thing I'm trying to get up off the ground, and I went on a little trip. That's why we didn't record last week.
Well, and let's talk about last week real quick, because you were out of town for part of it. My daughter's birthday was Thursday when we normally record. I was out of town the beginning of that week. It was just kind of crazy. So we don't like to skip weeks, and were we close to skipping this week.
Seriously, I think we were within minutes of Marshall just like...
Oh, I was about to be done.
He was going to throw his monitor out the window and say...
when you were working on the tech stuff, I was like, you know what? I might just go lay on the couch and just go take a nap. I might be done with the night. But anyway, so we will be back. We have a ton of SWOTOR stuff to talk about, just of general news stuff. It'll all go pretty quick, but I can't wait to dive back in game next week. So, and hopefully WOG tomorrow night if I don't pass on before that. So should we get to the news?
Absolutely.
All right. So quick thing. There was a question on the forums about if they're going to be at SWOTOR Celebration. So Eric did post, and he said that all signs are looking... I don't know what the right way to say it, but he says they're still finalizing exact details, but it's very likely they'll be at Celebration.
I will actually throw something in here. And actually, I meant to put it in the show notes, the actual link, but I didn't. But it was announced today that EA as a whole will definitely be at Star Wars Celebrations, most likely to cover Battlefront 2, which is going to come with, I think they said, a campaign mode.
Right.
They are
having a campaign mode this time.
Right. I will get to more of this once we get to Star Wars gaming news, or Star Wars overall news. But there's a possible new mobile game coming out, and they also actually referenced SWOTOR.
Yeah, good. And, excuse me. So they basically said it's going to take the form of a cantina-like event, probably.
Right.
They're not going to have a floor presence, and in fact they have not had a floor presence since the very first time they went to San Diego Comic-Con that year.
Right. Well, I mean, really Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say, was it 2 years ago when they announced coffee?
Well, but on the show floor, like having
Right,
a booth
on the
and
show
all that
floor?
stuff, yeah.
No, not since the first
Yeah.
year.
So the next thing in here, and again, some of this is from when we should have recorded last week, and this is just a real quick thing. The link is in the show notes to this. You've probably already seen it, but they have mentioned that in 5.1.2, they had a really what it comes down to is they're changing the. They're going to bring a lot of changes to the missions and unassembled components. So this breaks it down in what they're awarding for war zones, group ranked, GSF, and all that. And, of course, the the weekly missions? Sorry, the PvP missions, yeah. So I'm not going to go through this. I'm not even a big PvPer, but overall, and this is kind of going to piggyback into our discussion topic, overall, people are saying this is not enough. But again, I don't have enough experience in the PvP to say whether it's enough or not. But I actually dived down the forum post on this for a little bit.
Wow.
And I did with another one too, which I'll talk about. But I don't know, man. I think some of this stuff is becoming a pretty decent point of contention with the devs. But we'll kind of we're the kind of people that kind of wait and see.
Yeah, we're definitely wait and seers. But I would just like to point out, so you're actually saying you don't have much of a PvP-ness.
I don't. My PvP-ness is lacking, if you will.
It is, we really don't stick it as far out there as
There we are.
Chuck and Brian. But
No. Oh, who does?
I know, right? Who has much of a PvP-ness presence as they do?
Wow, a lot of that's going to get cut. Okay, so people are asking for GSF, the daily and weeklies to give components, and basically they're saying they're focusing on making these changes first, and then they'll get to that. People, like I said, are still saying it's too low, and my big thing, honestly, and I want to use this as a bit of a launching pad for me, is all this stuff, in my opinion, needs to be legacy. I don't understand why it's not. This is a very alt-friendly game. Why is none of this stuff legacy? Like, if I get... It drives me crazy when I open. I'm like, I don't know, level 50 something now. CXP, and you're laughing. I'm gonna hold on a second. CXP level 50 something, and if I have something that why can't I go to another tune and just open up that deal? You know.
All right, so for those of you watching live on Twitch right now, you can see that I've had a big, huge smile on my face since Marshall mentioned Legacy. Because this is about the 8th or 9th episode in a row that you've bitched about Legacy, and
Are you serious?
I'm thinking...
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm thinking...
All different stuff, though.
I'm thinking Legacy has become your stackable storage.
Legacy, and look, I'm sorry, 5 years ago, what was I saying about Datacrons?
No, you get
I'm the
results.
legacy guy, dude.
You get results because I think they do listen to the Angry Black Man.
Right? and do we or do we not have legacy Datacrons?
We do have legacy Datacrons.
Well, then you can shut your little face then, son. You're so stupid. All right, let's move on. All right, so closed PTS applications, another round of those went out, which is awesome.
Right.
I haven't had time for the regular game, let alone PTS. But we also have some issues. So, excuse me, they did do a maintenance on the 28th.
Right.
Okay. And with that was 5.1.2, which I'm not going to go through all the patch notes, but I'm going to bring it up here in a couple minutes. But one of the things that happened was they were missing the superior boosts, CXP boosts, which was one of those things that they implemented a little bit ago. And people were asking, should I submit a ticket if it's gone? And they're basically saying that they're going to get them back to you and that you don't have to do anything about it. They know that it's missing. They said they made a change to the command experience boost in the patch, which caused active boost to drop off. They'll be granting a new item to the players who had an active one to make up for the missed time.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is badass because I know on the 2 tunes I was working on, I had active superior boosts on. So,
right.
Not to say I've logged in or not, but they say you don't have to submit a ticket. They know what's up, and there it is.
Well, it wouldn't matter because even if you were to log in 3 weeks, that superior boost is still active.
Well, but they went.
Well, I'm saying it should be still
active.
Yeah.
So
whether you've logged in or not, it's no matter whether they need to reimburse you for it.
Anyway, so here we are. Next thing, someone asked about new Stronghold, maybe possibly coming with IOCath and all that stuff. What do you think?
I'm gonna guess the trademarked soon, but
You think soon, huh?
Well, trademarked soon.
Soon, TM.
But I'm gonna say I'm with the other campiers. I would love a Manon one. In underwater.
But aren't you okay? Speaking of no tangents this episode, if you're in a Manon stronghold, aren't you technically sort of the fish tank? Aren't you the fish in the fish tank? Think about it. Water planet. No, think about it. Water planet, water stronghold.
Oh,
Outside's all water.
Yes.
Aren't the fish go up to you and be like, "Oh, look at that little human in there"?
No, we're the aquarium.
Isn't that kind of badass?
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
Cool. Eric, if you're not listening, which you're not, do that.
Exactly. Okay, what if you are...
Here we go. Go ahead.
What if you're a Mon Calamari in the Manon stronghold? You're a fish in the human fish tank.
That's like Manon Inception.
Manonception.
You're dumb. Okay. Actually, that's pretty funny. All right, so he says basically adding a new stronghold is something we talk about often, and it's something we would love to do. It's just a question of when. I laugh, and this is Eric saying this, I laugh because our internal conversations sound just like this thread. We all argue about our favorite places where we'd love to have a stronghold. And how many times have we sat here and been like, well, personally, I want one on Rishi. I want a pirate badass stronghold.
Okay,
So
that would be cool. I just think it would be too similar to Yavin.
Look,
Like in
don't
field?
take this away from me, bro.
What we need is one on Hoth, so we can actually have a
Hoth's
Fortress
my
of
second.
Solitude.
Yes, Hoth is second on my list. So I feel like you stole that from me, but that's fine. And this. Oh, no comment on that. Okay, good. So when is the best time to open crates? Is the name of this next thread. And what this person is basically asking is, okay, so I don't know, you haven't done operations since the new stuff.
No.
When you do group content like that, what you get is these little tokens.
Okay.
And they are CXP boosts. They grant you CXP. And if you're with the DVL stuff going, if like let's say you're dark side affiliated, right? If you wait until your side is winning and you open that pack, you get an extra bonus. But what they're asking is when's the best time to open packs or crates or packs? And somebody's basically saying there's no right time to open a crate. Open them when you get them. The best time for the command tokens is when your side is winning. And so Eric kind of basically made sure people understand that. So that's super important. I sit on those things, and then like if I'm on one of my tunes and I see that the dark side's winning on our server, I'll pop over the tunes I know I have those bonuses, and I'll open all those, and you get extra CXP on that.
And you only get those bonuses from operations.
You get those from operations,
Right.
I think flashpoints, group content.
Right,
for sure.
exactly. Okay, that's a good thing to know.
Yeah, for sure. After the patch, DVL event armor is missing from the legacy bank, and this would have bummed me out too because I worked tirelessly on that DVL event to get that legacy armor. It basically says let me open this up so I can get it right. But it basically says if you were missing it, they'll get it back to you. It says, instead of closing the thread, I'm going to quote you for visibility. It says, if you had the armor in a cargo hold / legacy storage, it's possible that it moved. But it will still be in that same storage. So it might not be in the exact spot, but it might be somewhere else.
Okay.
And it says, if you had mods in your armor, you should also find them in the same storage container as the armor. Obviously, if you have different issues, you might want to let them know.
I completely forgot that we actually got our armor from the DVL event, so I'm gonna have to go look and see.
Yeah, that's the leveling armor, dude. That's the stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I strive for the end there. You're looking at me like you want me to move on, which I will. So after maintenance, we did have some patch notes. I'm not going to read all the patch notes, especially 2 hours later after we should have started. But a couple things that did come up, and every time I say I'm not going to read patch notes, I always read some of them.
Yeah, you do.
They did correct the Galactic Starfighter requisition is now 250% rate, which that came up before. Players who are below level 70 can no longer use a command experience boost when bolstered to level 70, which I don't even understand how that works, but I just wanted to say that to you to see your face. So if you're below 70, but you were bolstered to 70, you could use a command XP boost. To what end, I don't know.
Well, if you're doing group content, so you're in an operation, right? You're gonna.
No, I get it, but you're not even earning CXP because you're not level 70.
No, but those little crates that you get might have an added boost in it.
But you don't get crates because you're not level 70. That's why I don't understand this. You don't even have access to Galactic Command until you're level 70. That's the face.
Yeah, I really don't know then.
Yeah, well, I'm sure people out there know. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't really care at this point. Dark vs. Light armor set no longer bolsters higher than intended stats in war zones, which is good. There were a couple other things in here I wanted to bring up. Where was it? Opponent area of effect indicators no longer appear as green in war zones. They also shrunk the people were complaining about on the map screen. They made that purple circle around your people. They shrunk that down. I don't think it's that noticeable. From what I understand from the community, people are saying it's minimal how much they shrunk it, but it is what it is. Let's see what else we have here. If you were trying to use a chair on your ship, you can now do that. Have you been to your ship anytime recently?
Ironically enough, I was
my God.
on my ship
I knew you were going to
like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
As my which one was it? I was on my Jedi Counselor ship, and it was just my Jedi Knight, because I realized that I'd never finished 3 companion stories, and so I never got those bonuses.
I see.
The mastery bonuses, and so I went around and finished them, and you had to do it on.
So, were you trying to sit in a chair?
No.
Indeed.
The only chair I ever tried to sit in is the one at the
That one feels badass.
the map, but
Yeah. Well, that's the pilot seat.
yeah, it's the pilot seat.
Anyway, the main thing with this patch was that they enabled the item you can purchase to take off that extra CXP bonus.
Okay.
Which that was a major thing. I'm not going to go through any of the Warzone stuff. There was one other thing in here I just want to make sure that I touch on, because chairs, sound effects. Oh, what is this? I'm going to read this to you. You tell me what this means. A groove sensor. One more time. A groove sensor repairman has been dispatched to address a malfunctioning droid at the Alliance base. What the hell does that mean? Is there a dancing droid that someone has to address? I mean, what the hell is a groove sensor repairman? Explain that to me, sir. Yeah.
Is there a droid right next to the jukebox?
Again, dude, I don't know. I haven't logged in a while, but you tell me. It's imagination time.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right.
The other major thing with the patch notes is they finally increased Flashpoint and Operation. Operations now provide significantly increased command experience points, which I'm really excited about going into WOG tomorrow night. They've also increased it for boss and mini boss encounters. Let's see, per operation. Let's see, total command experience earned for full clear has been adjusted on a per operation basis. So essentially, if it's a longer, probably a Scum and Villainy kind of thing, you're going to get more as opposed to an Eternity Vault.
Yeah,
thing,
gotcha.
right?
Gotcha,
But that's
gotcha.
those experience points you get at the end,
Right.
Essentially. is what
Okay,
they're
that
saying.
makes sense.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, I think that's about all I want to cover in the old patch notes here.
Awesome.
Let's get to our discussion topic. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't even know if you've heard about this yet. I bet you haven't.
Probably not.
All right. So, over the weekend, okay, meaning over last weekend, I think it was Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
The SWTOR Twitter posted, and I have a link to the tweet. It basically says, and let me open this up because I want you to get the full scope of this. It says, prepare for the War for Iocath with XP boosts. 250 bonus XP plus command experience event starts tomorrow. Okay? So, that wasn't the one I wanted. Where's the one I wanted? Anyway, that's the link to the wrong tweet. But the tweet was something along the lines of, we're going to have 100 more levels. They're going to add, with 5.2, they're adding 100 more CXP levels. Okay?
What's the max?
And
right now?
another tier
400?
of gear. 300 right now.
Oh,
It's
so
going to
we'll
be
go to
400 and another tier of gear. Okay? Now, as you can probably imagine.
That Mox has already reached 400, even though it's not released yet.
Yeah, probably. It says, as many of you saw from our social media posts over the weekend, we're going to be adding tier 4 gear and another 100 command ranks to Galactic Command in 5.2. I want to let you know there's a quite bit more than just another tier. So one of the things they're doing is it's going to be working. Command crates are going to work a bit differently than tier 1 through 3, meaning the tier 4 ones.
Right.
And you're going to be more consistently guaranteed to get a set bonus with the tier 4. Okay. They're making adjustments to tier 1 through 3 as well, that make leveling gear experience better. We want to make sure it feels rewarding to get higher in command ranks per tier. And there are gearing-related changes coming based on your feedback and adjustments, etc. And it says there's more coming. They're going to announce something probably tomorrow, I'm guessing, because it's Thursday night.
Right.
They're going to post something this week. But here's the problem, okay? People were already complaining it was a grind, right? And now you're going to add 100 more levels, okay? And then at some point, they're going to readjust that big boost from the event that we're getting with 5.2, right?
Right.
So are they going to... So the point of contention is, first of all, I don't care.
No.
Honestly, I'm not even 100 right now.
No.
I have a long way to go.
I don't think I've hit 20
I don't
yet.
care. So we're on a different level than some of these other folks. But people are upset. They're like, oh, I got to the top, and now you're adding more grind. Why do we need another tier of gear? I mean, this was the rabbit hole I dove down one day, and I'm just reading thread after thread after thread after
Well,
thread.
I'm going to point out what Mox just said in chat, because I made the offhand joke that he's already reached 400, even though they haven't released it yet. And he came out and said, technically, I will be ready with tons of clicky CXP things, because once he hits the 300 max, those people that already have finished the grind, it's not like they've stopped playing content, and so they've been collecting these things that'll give them CXP, and they'll just click through them once they...
And what he's referring to is those little clicky things I was talking about, where, when it's time, he's just going to be like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, he's basically saving up a bank of it.
Yeah, which is great. I honestly, dude, I know I can feel people being upset, and of course there's I'm going to unsubscribe and blah, 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 and that's fine. People get all upset about that.
And
stuff,
you know what I say to those people? If you're going to unsubscribe, you would have done it by now.
Well, and
I don't think the extra 100 levels of CXP is the straw that breaks your back.
right, and it's funny because somebody, I think it was UtiniCast actually, we're talking about this exact thing, and somebody wrote in and basically was saying like, look, that's not really helpful. Like, you unsubscribing doesn't really do what they want it to do. It would be more conducive for them to continue to give feedback and to, granted, okay, they're going to lose $15, but that's not the end all be all, right? Any other thoughts on this, man? Because honestly, I don't really care about the extra levels because I'm never going to get to 300 anyway. But, here we are.
I think it's crazy that Death Runs has said that he's already had 3 tunes to level 300.
Yeah, that's crazy. But one thing, because we didn't record last week, I did more than just WoG. I've been working on my bounty hunter, my mercenary, and I've been trying to... So what I'm trying to do is make a 230 gear set piece legacy set.
Okay.
Right? And so I screwed up the story completely. I don't know what I did. I can't even access my companions anymore. I screwed a bunch of stuff up. But really, I'm just grinding CXP on that tune to try to build that set. So I have a 4-piece bonus set with my tank on the M side. So I'm working on getting my my DPS set up.
Yeah, what you must have done is you must have started Coffee, but
I
not
did.
finished Chapter 9.
Oh, no.
So
No. I started Codfee and didn't even finish my storyline.
Yeah, so therefore you've lost all your companions.
Yeah.
And you didn't get to level 9 to open up the Alliance yet, so you can't get the
Indeed.
Alliance companions yet either.
Right. So I can't. So I'm locked out of Alliance.
Basically, the only ones you
Alerts.
have are the ones that you can unlock independently, like Nico Carr
Yeah,
and
super dumb.
Shay Vizsla and stuff like that.
So I just gave a bunch of gifts to Shay Vizsla and we're rolling.
Yeah. And of course, your trusty droids.
I don't like any of them.
I'm actually... Lately, I've been playing, like the times that I have played, I've been playing with my droids because they have a weird... You normally have your things where you have
You're
to...
talking about your ship droid?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Your C2N2 and your 2X whatever.
Yeah.
Usually when you have to kill somebody with a certain companion, right?
Yeah.
And usually it's 100 and 1,000. Well, with them, it's 100, 1,000, and 2,500.
Wow. I still can't believe 3 tunes to 300?
Yeah.
This guy's my hero.
You're an all-star.
Yeah. Remember
Right.
that song?
Hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
Okay. So we're going to switch to Star Wars. You ready?
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew.
I was raised to do one thing. But I've got nothing to fight for.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
You're 0 for 2. You blew it both times, which is great.
Bite me.
Moving on. I'm going to let you take the lead on this, dude. D23. What do you got?
Yeah, so just a couple of quick discussion topics. There are kind of rumblings in the news talking about what is possibly going to get released at D23. The last D23 was in 2015, and of course it was before Force Awakens, so really there was not a ton of stuff that they could release.
Right.
It was a lot of future Marvel content and a lot of what am I drawing a blank? Oh, and their live action reboots. Right. Well, now that they have the next D23 coming up this summer in July, and it's after Celebration, a lot of people think that it is going to, and Celebration is primarily going to be focused on The Last Jedi.
Okay.
But the next Star Wars Celebration is after the release of Han Solo. So a lot of people are thinking that a lot of the Han Solo news is going to come out of D23 in July. So we're going to get probably most likely the title, first teaser trailer. By teaser trailer, I mean there's going to be like no footage. It's going to be like the very first one of the Force Awakens, where it's basically a little bit of musical cue, a couple of images, but not anything else.
So you think we're going to get a full-blown trailer at Celebration?
No, I think we're going to get a teaser trailer.
Okay.
Like the very first Force Awakens teaser trailer was like 13 seconds long or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be like that, I'm guessing. But I think most definitely we're going to be getting the title, because a lot of people complained about how late the Last Jedi title came.
Is it late though?
Not really.
I mean, what? We're over a year and a half out, aren't we?
From The Last Jedi?
Yeah. Oh no, not Last Jedi. No, we got December. Okay.
We're like 9 months out, dude.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Han Solo. For a second.
No, Han Solo. We're about a month and 2 months, or a year and 2 months out.
Yeah.
So by the time we get to July,
that's right, because that's May.
Yeah, it's going to be 10 months out, which sounds about right to get a title.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think they are gearing up for a? I almost don't want to say it, because they're going to bump Han Solo to May. So we have.
No, it was never bumped. That was always its release date.
Okay. Well, they announced it officially though recently.
Right, and actually we'll get to that in here in a minute.
Right.
But it had always been the plan for May.
Okay.
Actually, the only ones that were originally supposed to get released in December were Force Awakens and Rogue One.
Okay.
The Last Jedi was actually supposed to come out this May. That is what got bumped.
Oh, I see.
And nothing else behind it is bumped. So everything else is still coming out May.
So what I was alluding to probably doesn't matter, but I was thinking because you have Han Solo, you have Last Jedi,
right,
and then you have Han Solo
5 months later,
like super quick.
Right.
Are they going to try to do 9 in
December? No, that's going to be the May of
that's going to be
2019.
Next May. Okay, so they're just shifting to May. Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, and the main reasoning that a lot of people, that I've read, that they're sticking specifically with the May release date that they've given for Han Solo, which I might as well just give it to you now, that they're giving it is May 25th of 2018. Is that's 41 years to the day of the original
really?
Star Wars movie.
Wow.
That May 25th is the actual date.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yes. So basically that's what we're expecting. Also, they are expecting that by July they might have enough solidified to announce not only what the next Star Wars story will be, but possibly what else is in the cards post Skywalker saga.
All right, cool, man. We've talked about this quite a bit. I think they're going to go away from the Skywalkers, personally, unless it comes to like that Rey is a Skywalker, which she probably is a Skywalker. But I mean,
I'm still holding out hope that she's a Kenobi.
Well,
but
yeah,
I think finish the Skywalker saga at 9, and then if you want to pick up another saga.
Well, not a saga. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe you do a standalone later. Like, I think everything going forward after 9 should be just Star Wars stories. Let's just get a story every year.
No, well, I think what they could do is stick with the trilogy format.
Yeah.
Right? Once the saga ends at 9, but don't plan like another 9-episode saga. Do trilogies, and so it's Trilogy 1, story. Trilogy 2, story. Trilogy 3, story. Trilogy 1, story. Because then they could pick, like, say, for example, if they did want to bring in Old Republic time frame in,
sure,
they could do a trilogy on Bane and Revan
and offset it with
those stories. And then if they wanted to do Even if they want to bring in why can I not remember the one that had like 20 books on it later, like after the solos?
Talking about Yuzhan Vong stuff
Yeah.
and all that. Oh,
I'm
they'll
saying
never
if
do that.
I'm saying if they chose to do that, but
yeah.
I'm like, come up with those stories, whatever, but do a trilogy.
Yeah. Because
Self-contained.
all that stuff was like, what, 30 years after Battle of Yavin kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was all way
30
late.
plus years.
Yeah. So yeah, do something like that where you have a self-contained trilogy, but then you can throw in little stories. Actually, very much in format with like, and we'll get to this in a minute, but the way that that Chuck Wendig has built Empire's End, which is now released now, and what it is, it's the main story, but inside there's little chapter interludes that that follow up stories, and we'll get to one about Jar Jar Binks here in a minute.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So what else do you have here? Star Wars Rivals?
Yeah, there's there's always trademarks and stuff that are hijacked. Like when still remember when A New Hope came, or not when A New Hope came out, when Phantom Menace came out, they took a lot of like screen names and usernames and websites that had Darth Tyrannus and all these things that had to do with titles coming up. Right?
I got you.
So back in December, they trademarked a title called Force of Destiny or something like that, and nobody still knows what that is. But in January, or just a couple weeks ago, they did a trademark for Star Wars Rivals, and it's under Education Entertainment or something like that, which is very similar to what they do for mobile games. So it looks like there's going to be a new mobile game coming out called Star Wars Rivals, and that'll probably get announced at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah. Oh, man. I cannot wait to see what we get out of Celebration. There's always something. So we're going to get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Rivals because, they have the new Force Arena thing where it's kind of head-to-head combat, but it's kind of like, what if they did like just a Capcom style of...
Like Street Fighter style?
Street Fighter style, one-on-one, and that's called Rivals.
I would play that all day long.
Yeah, I mean, where you could be C-3PO fighting Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, again, all day long.
Exactly.
But I spent a lot of money on Street Fighter 2, to be fair, in the arcades back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
You're a geek.
Shocking, right?
Yeah, anybody listening to us is a geek, too.
You're welcome. All right, what do you got? Just go to the Jar Jar Binks thing, man.
Yeah, so we have the interludes we were talking about. Well, he kind of told us what's happening with Jar Jar Binks.
Right.
Of course, he had a huge, fall from grace after he was the one that put Palpatine into power.
Well, for sure.
By giving him the emergency things. Well, now
he's kind of bamboozled in that. But
absolutely. No, he was totally, hoodwinked. But evidently, he's now living on the streets of Naboo as a street...
Is he homeless?
As a street clown.
Huh.
And he meets this kid and kind of like says, I'll teach you my ways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This has gotten hijacked into the whole Jar Jar is really... No, the Jar Jar is really a Sith Lord.
Oh, right. I forget. Why did I forget about that?
Because the kid in the book had an acid burn or something on his face, and he's like, what if that kid is Snoke? And Jar Jar trained him.
Interesting. I don't care about any of that.
But no, it's totally not happening.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm kind of bummed that I'm behind on the Star Wars books, especially these. I got, we've talked about it enough times. I hit a little bit of roadblock here and there. But yeah, I like when novels, Sanderson does it. He does interludes where to expand the universe that he's creating or the world he's creating, he brings in peripheral kind of characters and that you may have seen before or heard about, and kind of expands on like a short story within a bigger novel. You know what I mean?
And as Mox points out, hashtag spoilers, but I'm not telling like major storyline issues.
Yeah.
Because the Jar Jar thing has absolutely nothing to do with the main story. It's just like, here is a little tidbit of what's happening.
Right.
And another thing, and actually I didn't put this link in the show notes, but there is another long held and kind of reviled Star Wars character that has been, like I said, long time reviled, that is now going to be officially canon.
Who are we talking about?
Do you guys want the name? I'll let the people in chat decide. I will tell you, it is a character from the holiday special.
Oh, are we talking Lumpy?
Lumpy! Lumpy is canon.
Oh, that's amazing. But wasn't Lumpy always canon because of the special?
No, because the special's like in that gray area where it's not
Yeah,
actually
that
canon.
That weird spot. We've talked about that before.
Yes. So,
Speaking of spoilers.
yeah. So, but again, it's one of those things where it's like it's just not.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it's actually in Empire's End or if it's in another thing I read, but he is going to be officially canon.
Nice, man. Let's get to my favorite thing of the week, Star Wars wise. You take it away. I haven't even got a chance to read it. I saw it today and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. And then I had to do stuff.
Yeah, the big news from today is that
Minor spoilers, maybe.
Yeah, minor spoilers here. And actually, I won't go all in depth on it because the article's out there. If you want to read it, you can read it. There was an excerpt of the new Thrawn book by Timothy Zahn released to USA Today.
That comes out very soon, right?
I want to say it's May. I think it's May.
No, I think it's this month. The audiobook?
For Thrawn?
Yeah, you talk.
Anyway, so let's just say that because this is Thrawn's backstory.
Yeah.
And let's just say when Thrawn approaches the Emperor as joining his empire, he says, if you want to know about my loyalty, talk to one of your servants. I'll put it at that. So evidently he knows one of his servants from the past.
Okay.
So we will leave it at that and let your imagination run wild.
Okay, I was a month off. I already pre-ordered the book, which is why I thought it was happening sooner rather than later. It's 39 days from now. Thank you, audibletry.com/usual podcast.
So in April.
April 11th, a couple days
Okay,
after
cool.
my birthday. So my birthday is also in April.
Yes, it is.
I'm getting a little delirious. Let's move on.
All right. So, so, if you want to check out that article, check it out. I got it from comicbook.com. But it's very, very cool that they are really tying in Thrawn, especially from Rebels.
Indeed. Can I let me take this next one? So,
Absolutely.
This is pretty cool. I saw this in a couple different places, but the original Star Wars trilogy, that it means the non-special edition cut, the thing that you cannot seem to find anymore.
You're right. It's only available on VHS at this point. And that's actually been put in the vaults.
Yeah, well, dude, the VHS I have is not that.
Yeah, you have the gold and silver ones.
Yes,
right?
I do.
When the gold and
Super
silver
annoying.
one, yeah, I was working at a video store when those came out. When those came out, you had the gold and silver sets, which were these weird.
Yeah, they had like a little side sliding.
Yeah,
thing.
it was a brick thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they released a flat black case
Right.
that had the original trilogy in it. I mean, the original copies in it, and those were much harder to get.
Yeah. So
basically, if you wanted to watch Han shoot first, and if you wanted to
Right.
see No Windows in Cloud City, that sort of thing.
question: are we going to get this or not?
It's been rumored for a long time.
Yeah.
But I believe it's Making Star Wars, who's a pretty reliable source, has come out and said that Lucasfilm has already done it. Like they've already created the digital format of it,
Right.
and the Blu-ray of it. The thing that they're getting around, which they've always gotten around, especially since Disney bought out, is that Fox actually owns the rights.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the packaging or the manufacturer; it's the distribution.
Indeed.
Because you have to get through those hoops of who owns the rights and the fact that A New Hope 1 is actually still owned partially by I think Lucas and partially by Fox, and so it's kind of all over the place.
Lady in the chat, yes, indeed.
Yes, the Han shot only
Only.
in
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah, no, I God, man, when was the last time I saw that scene the way it was supposed to be?
Honestly, I think the last time I saw it was at my brother's house when he lived in San Luis Obispo, and he had a top-down VCR player.
I think I saw it, when they used to show them on TV, like just so long ago, dude.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was that came out and said it would kind of make sense for them to do it now because there was 20 years between the original release and the special editions.
Right.
Now it's been 20 years between the special editions and now.
I mean, we're talking 40 years of Star Wars right now.
Yeah, and plus it just makes sense for this May is coming up with Star Wars Celebrations is the 40th anniversary officially. So if they were to announce that at Celebrations as well.
Indeed. All right, man. So let's get to some Rogue One stuff. Are we finally going to get this on the old VHS laser? Oh, we're not doing that?
No, but they have
Okay.
released the dates. We're going to get the digital HD is going to be released on March 24th. So you're looking at 3 weeks out. And then it looks like 2 weeks later or a week and a half later, on April 4th, a week before Thrawn.
Indeed.
We're going to get the Blu-ray discs.
Nice. I will wait for Blu-ray. I think that's one of those ones I just kind of want.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
because
to
you're
buy,
going to
I like to buy the Star Wars.
Yeah,
one.
because you're going to get special features and stuff. And speaking of that, there's a featurette that was released, I believe, through England.
Yeah.
But it talks about how, if you notice, a lot of the space shots that that Gareth Edwards was able to get in Rogue One was very different than what we had normally gotten.
Right.
And it's because the crew developed a way to use a VR camera.
Oh, yeah, I did see something about that.
Yeah, so what he was able to do is they were able to work up a connection with a new kind of rig, with a new kind of camera. And so he could go around on his iPad and see what the camera shot would look like.
Dude, that's so
in
badass,
digital
dude.
engineering.
Oh.
And so he was able to say, for example, when you're getting those the Hammerhead,
The ships.
yeah, the ship that dude, we're both getting loopy. They hit it out of the way and down into the gate.
Right.
They had that really cool angle.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was able to kind of plan that stuff.
Dude, that's sick. I would love to see, especially when we're talking sci-fi, and hopefully fantasy kind of takes a note of this too, where they're able to do this kind of stuff. It's really going to elevate kind of the types of shots we're going to get, which I think is
well, I
pretty
mean,
cool.
it's just like when Lucas invented ILM
Yeah.
and Skywalker
man.
Sound, everything took a great leap forward. I mean, THX is named after THX 1138, which
Yeah.
is a Lucas film because he developed all this stuff.
And we wouldn't be where we are right now without any of that.
Oh, no.
So, Rogue One stuff. No, we just did that. Last Jedi stuff.
Yeah, so Lucasfilm has actually come out and said that there's like the red arm that C-3PO had in Force Awakens. There's going to be more changes to him in Last Jedi.
Really?
Yeah, major changes.
Is he going to become an astromech? That'd be hilarious. I don't know. It just popped in my head like him stuck in like a little tiny body.
And give legs to R2-D2.
Yeah. Let's flip flop him. Make R2 a protocol droid and C-3PO an astromech. That'd be
No,
hilarious.
you know what we need to do is give C-3PO the beeps and let R2 talk.
Exactly. I would love to hear what he has to say.
And then the other thing is, it's funny for somebody that has like said, I want to step away from the Star Wars thing. JJ's actually been quoted a lot the last couple of weeks. He's actually come out because he's of course seen a rough cut of just like Iger has and everything. He's seen a rough cut of Jedi and The Last Jedi, and he's arguing for Hamill getting an Oscar.
Really?
He's saying he's that good in it.
Well, I didn't see that, but I'm excited.
I mean, we know how good Hamill has become as an actor.
By the way, is there a reason you didn't put any Oscar stuff in tonight?
I did. I put one.
Oh, you put one.
And we'll get
Okay.
to it in pop culture.
I put one too. You're welcome.
And then on top of that, he's already read the Han Solo script.
Yeah.
And he praises it. He says, quote, "It's an amazing script."
And JJ's not like one of those guys like, well, I better tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah,
JJ,
well, one, he's not he's up for fan service, but not fan.
he's not going to play. Look, he's not going to come out just to say it. He's either going to say nothing or he's going to say a
Exactly.
positive thing. Like, he doesn't come out and say, well, I think this is crap. You guys shouldn't go see it. It doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense to him. Han Solo stuff.
And actually, really quick, JT actually points out that Jedi and Last Jedi is confirmed as plural.
Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, because of the different language posters
The
that they've come out.
translations when
Yeah,
they
the different
did
translations.
international.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is
Because,
sick.
like, if you look at it in Spanish, it says Los Jedi.
Right.
Yeah.
So, who do we think that is? Real quick. Thanks, JT. Speculation. Tangent time.
I thought we had 0 tangents.
No tangents. So the Last Jedi are. I'm making you tangent.
No, I think it's just it's the Knights of Ren.
You think so?
I because I don't think it actually is ultimately. I think that
I
those.
think it's Ray and Luke. Last Jedi. Boom.
Well, I think that Luke
saying.
in his sequestration, he might have realized that maybe just the title of Jedi,
Yeah.
especially if they're bringing more of the Book of the Wills in, that they are that they might be going more towards a gray Jedi format.
But also, is Ray ever going to be a Jedi? That's the other question.
That's the other question.
So-
But see, I'm saying he might train her differently and not officially be Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And so the last Jedi technically would be the Knights of Ren who fell from Luke's teaching.
Okay.
So they're no longer Jedi either.
Okay. You handled that okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Continue.
Han Solo also officially started production on February 20th.
Yeah, what, last couple weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they
We already talked about that, but the release date?
yeah, and they have a release date is confirmed for May 25th of 2018.
Oh, it's the 25th. Why did I think it was a little... What was it, 15th? Why
No,
is
it's
that-
always been in the third
always
to
been
fourth
the
week
20th,
because
okay.
it's always right around George Lucas's birthday.
Got it. Okay, cool. Real quick, I'm going to let you cover this one. I am an episode or two behind with the wife out of town and all this stuff. Like, I'm a little behind on Rebels, but not a whole lot.
I'm exactly 2 episodes behind.
Okay, so I think we're about the same spot, but this is a big deal.
It is. Well, we found out in the Tales of the Darksaber, Trials of the Darksaber episode, they mentioned the Mandalorian Wars. And we talked about how much does it actually constitute canon. But Filoni is the showrunner,
Yeah.
has actually come out and said it is a direct reference to KOTOR. Because he actually was a fan. He used to play KOTOR. And he said it is a direct reference, but he kept it vague enough where they could expand or shrink it. But he is saying that, and one thing that they actually mentioned in the article is that the Mandalorian War led to the armor the Mandalorians have.
Right.
Because you notice almost everything they have is designed to fight Jedi.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I love that Darksaber episode was really cool. But before I go to what JT just suggested, which I think is going to make us tangent, but I think what was I going to say about the what did you just suggest? You just said something about the Mandalorians.
Oh, the armor.
Yeah. No, that wasn't it. Before that.
That the Mandalorian War was kept vague.
Oh, the vagueness. I think that's the crux of it. I think Rebels has been dancing around this for seasons, right? You have to keep it vague if you're going to pull from the EVU, because if you get too specific, then you're pulling in whole novels, you're pulling in
exactly
whole
because what they're
storylines
doing
and all
is,
that.
and they started this with Clone Wars, where they brought in Bane at the end
Exactly.
of the series without bringing in the whole, because they'd already introduced the concept of Rule of Two.
Right.
But what I love about this is like when they brought in Thrawn, they brought in the personality, but none of the
Exactly.
backstory, because
Right.
Timothy Zahn was going to create a whole new backstory.
Right.
Right. So you didn't have that the trilogy. So they could
You also
do
get the physical controversy over the eyes too, because in
Exactly.
the book he didn't have,
Exactly. But they could do the same thing with Mandalorian Wars. They're bringing in the concept, and that's why the armor developed that way, without bringing in the specific names or anything, and they could build around it.
Indeed. All right, so let's go to what JT said.
There's this new packaging that's come out that shows what the big three look like.
Which we
now.
talked about last week.
Yeah, for example, Rey's got a different look. It looks like darker hair, not as much in the braid as it was before.
I assumed that our friend JT was alluding to maybe they're the last Jedi.
Except for Finn has not shown any force sensitivity that I can
Yet.
tell. And Poe, we already know he's descended from the two people who might be force sensitive, and he might get it from the force tree that they were given in the Shattered Empire
We're
comic.
talking force trees. I mean, look where we're at, dude.
Exactly.
Look at
so,
his piloting skills. Come on.
No, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. You know,
Just
his
throwing it out there. I don't even know if that's what JT meant. I just
his
wondered.
reflexes are very similar to what they had Anakin have in pod racing.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there are things that you see him do, especially in atmosphere, with the X-wing that you just haven't seen anybody else.
There's
do.
nothing like that shot, like right before Finn yells out.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
does that barrel roll.
That's one hell of a
flip
pilot.
over.
I mean, he does some stuff. Like if you go back and look at that sequence of what he does in that moment, that is amazing.
Yeah, one thing I hope they do, because Star Wars really doesn't do anything in flashback. Okay,
See,
they
JT knows.
either teach it in prologue or in visions, right? So you
Right.
either get the prologue of like when Jyn Erso was a kid, right before she wakes up in the transport, right?
Yeah.
That could have easily been told in the flashback 15 minutes later, but no, they told it as a prologue. Or you get it in vision, like Rey did when she picked up the lightsaber. I'm wondering how they're going to work around this when they're going to be telling the backstory of the Knights of Ren, which is obviously going to be told in the past. Is it going to be like Godfather 2 format, where it's like back and forth and not really flashback, but just two different distinct timelines?
I'm all right with that.
But on top of that, by going back to that time period, that might be about when when Poe is getting into the service, and it might explain the Force tree, which we never got explanation of from Force Awakens.
All right. Should we leave it there?
Yeah, enough tangents.
We only half tangented.
True.
Well,
We tangentially tangented.
don't get all tangential on me now, dude. All right, so let's get to our last section. It looks like we're dropping out on Twitch, which is awesome. Wait for it. Hold on a second.
Oh, mine's still showing.
It's cycling. Give it a sec. I don't want to lose people. We actually have people watching. All right. Is that yours? Is fine?
Yeah, mine's still showing.
Okay, so all right, let's move on. Next section. Rookie move. Why did I hit?
Wrong bumper.
I was raised to do one thing. But I've got nothing to fight
Oh,
for.
that's also the wrong bumper.
Is it? What the hell am I doing? Oh, that's right. This one I was on top. Sorry.
I can't imagine any kind of future where I'm a hero. Well, you know, in the future, none of you are heroes.
You're legends.
Honestly, guys, nothing but professionalism here.
We need to get Marshall some food.
Let me just tell you, I have not eaten all day.
He's not eating, and he's drinking a 9% beer.
No, it's not 9. This is only 7.
Oh, only.
8.1.
Split the difference.
Yeah, well, here we are.
All right, so we're into usual roundup now.
Oh, man, we had some deaths.
We do. Let's get a couple of the two deaths out of the way quickly. Of course, Neil Fingleton died. He played Mag the Mighty in Game of Thrones Season 4, the big giant.
The giant. And what was that? There was so much happening and so many. I was wrapped up in the next one we're going to talk about, and I saw this one. Do you know what happened?
Well, I mean, he was a large gentleman anyways.
Yeah.
And so
Is
I
this
just,
like an Andre the Giant kind of thing?
I think it was that sort of
Yeah.
It was just a side effect of whatever diseases he had.
That's so sad.
Because I believe he was 36.
Yeah.
He wasn't really all that old.
I love that character on screen though in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, great.
Oh, man, it was
Especially
so
when they
cool.
had when they were dealing with the tunnel in the wall.
Yeah, indeed.
Fantastic. Then of course the big news of the week. It actually happened the morning of the Oscars. We lost Bill Paxton.
Yeah, man.
And the creepiest thing about this is one of the commercials that were shown over and over again during the awards was a Rolex commercial, right? And what it
Was he
did,
in it?
what it did is it showed a whole bunch of movies where Rolexes were featured, and very few of them actually had dialogue, but the one that did and kept popping up in my face every single time it happened was when he's underneath in the submarine in Titanic. And he's recording out the window. You can see the Rolex on his wrist, and he's
God.
looking at the camera saying something. So it seemed like every 20 or 30 minutes it was seeing Bill Paxton again.
What's crazy, man, I think the last thing I saw Paxton in, and again, he's one of those actors, he's been in everything. I think the last thing I saw him in it's one of those moments, he's not chewing the scenery, but I just love that he's there, and I love that he's Bill Paxton in that role.
Right.
Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, he got rave reviews for
And
that.
he played a really cool, villain. I mean, it's just one of those roles where it's just like, oh man, I'm so glad Bill Paxton's in this role. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and actually the big thing is the latest trend has been to take TV movies and turn them into TV shows.
Yeah.
For example, actually I've been watching Lethal Weapon all season, and actually I'm almost liking it better than the movies.
Really?
Yeah, and they
I
just
haven't even thought about watching that.
it's actually fairly enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. The guy who plays Riggs is better than Gibson, I think.
All right.
But they just
I wasn't a big Lethal Weapon fan either.
they just
though,
introduced the Joe Pesci character.
All right.
And is played by Tom Lennon, who
Who's Tom Lennon?
he wrote the Night at the Museum movies.
Oh,
He's
I
in
know.
The Odd
Okay.
Couple. He
Yeah,
produces At Midnight. He was the main guy he was in 911, Reno 911, who always wore the shorts.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
He was part of the state coming up. But talking about Bill Paxton is the first thing I ever remember seeing him in was Weird Science.
Yeah.
Where he played Chip, the older brother, who was like, I'm going to give you a
love
nice
Weird Science.
greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray.
Oh man.
The thing that he's been doing recently is he was on this season. They did Training Day, and he played the older character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I don't know if they race swapped it and he was the Denzel character or whatnot.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But he was in it. But evidently he'd already wrapped his season. So at least they're going to get the full season out of it.
Well, and I've
Chet, not Chip. Thanks, Steve.
and I could not be farther behind, I think, on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I'm not sure if he was slated to come back or if he was in this current season.
Actually, they came out and said that no, he hadn't. I mean, they'd always kept him in reserve.
Yeah.
But they had no plans for him to happen anytime soon.
Good. Okay. Whew. Well, he will be missed.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was one of those things. It was like
it was a freak thing.
I guess he had heart surgery.
Yeah, went in for surgery and he just died on the table.
And no, he had complications after the fact.
Yeah.
So it's super sad. I did not watch the Oscars in real time. I'm not one of those people. I can't sit and watch an awards show. I'm sorry. I'm not that guy. I just can't do it. We've had so many conversations about this over the last 2 years. Every award show that comes and goes, you watch them all. I kind of poke fun at you for doing it, but I'm glad people do, and I'm glad that you do. I don't even understand what the hell happened. How do you mess up an award show? So I didn't even bury the lead. So you tell me.
First of all, I'm just going to tell everybody what happened in time. I mean, if you guys haven't watched or you didn't watch the Oscars, whatever. Basically, what happens? The award show was fairly, blasé, very, fairly, predictable.
Just kidding.
But what we got at the very end is they brought out Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway because they were doing the 50th anniversary of Bonnie and Clyde, I think was this year.
Real quick, if it's not too late, good night, Death Row. Thank you for sticking around this whole time. It's late wherever you are.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
He was right through our tech problem
because he's in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. So, anyways, so he, so basically, they came out, and previously, not the award directly before, but shortly before, Emma Stone had just won for La La Land. Okay. So basically, they came out, they did their spiel, and then they were announcing who won. And Warren Beatty opened the envelope, and he's like looking at it. And I thought he was having like a senior moment because Warren Beatty's up there. He's like 80 something.
Yeah.
And don't worry, he's a honest to God Hollywood icon. I mean, he won. I mean, he was in Shampoo. Granted, he didn't do Ishtar, but he did Reds, which won Best Picture and all that stuff. So, anyways, so basically, he was trying to make sense of it, and I thought he was having a senior moment. And then all of a sudden, Faye Dunaway just grabbed the card out of his hand and said, "Just say it," and said "La La Land." So basically, what happened though is that they were handed the wrong card, and the card they were given was the Emma Stone card, which had already been opened up. And so he was like, "Wait a second."
He's all, something's wrong.
And he was trying to figure it out.
Right.
And Faye Dunaway just like jumped in and read La La Land, not seeing Emma Stone above it.
Oh, God.
So then they came up and they started giving their speeches. But as you can see in the background, people were running back and forth, right, trying to figure it out. So basically, the whole upshot was they were given the wrong card. And finally, the producer of La La Land said, actually, no, it's Moonlight. They handled it very classy, very well done. He showed up the card, which was great.
You could tell they were kind of upset.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong.
Wouldn't
Absolutely.
you be?
Absolutely. But evidently, PricewaterhouseCooper, who does the tabulations, and they're the ones who physically hand the cards to the presenters.
Yeah.
Because they're kept in a locked case or whatever until showtime. They've come out and apologized. Now, the rumor behind the scenes, and Pricewaterhouse has not confirmed this, but that the Pricewaterhouse person behind off stage who was in charge of giving them that card was simultaneously trying to tweet a picture of Emma Stone backstage.
Oh.
And so he got flummoxed and gave the wrong card as they were going out.
A social media blunder?
Yes.
Eek.
Evidently, that tweet has since been deleted.
Yeah.
And I'm sure his account's gone by now, too.
I'm sure he might be fired, maybe?
Yeah. But basically, that's basically what happened.
I'm going to go with hella fired.
Yeah. I was actually, in the moment, I was actually chatting with my sister, and I was like, maybe they shouldn't have people in their 80s coming out and doing the
Probably
main
not.
lord of the night. And it's just going back to when they had Elizabeth Taylor out shortly after she had brain surgery. And I'm like, okay.
But think about it. You're going to put someone on the stage. They should be, I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, you should be young. You should be this. But you should be,
able to think on your feet.
well, yeah. And have the wherewithal to be like, okay, something's wrong here. Let me articulate it in a way to be like, hey, let's hold up a second. Let's double check. This card doesn't match what I think I'm supposed to say.
Exactly.
and
Where
let's
Warren
do
Beatty
a
was like
thing.
halfway there.
Right. But what's her name?
Faye
Screwed it
Dunaway
up,
just
too.
jumped in.
So anyway.
Yeah. So basically that's what happened. And it's interesting that Price Waterhouse fell on the sword, which you knew they were going to.
The whole thing makes me laugh.
And so it's really, Steve says, my brother says that both the guy and the female representative that are backstage have both been fired from Price
Well,
Waterhouse.
but
But the thing is how does this work? Because Price Waterhouse has been doing the Oscars for like 40 plus years now.
It's true.
Do they go to another accounting firm? I mean, or what?
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some sort of contract, so maybe they have to go out through. I just don't know, but it's interesting to see what's going to happen next year.
Right.
Right.
So what do you got about Avatar, dude? Because this is important. Is it though? Is it?
Well, it is because
Finally?
yeah, because James Cameron has been stringing Avatar along for the last 8 years now, but he's officially come out and said that Avatar 2 will start production August 15th of this year.
Is that a hard date?
That's a hard date, according to him. I think what he was kind of waiting on to start production on it was waiting for the world of Avatar to open up at Disney World.
And that's a big deal.
That's opening up in May. Because there's going to be a whole bunch of press that he's going to have to do with that. Why start a production when you're just going to have to go over there?
Right.
So it just makes sense. Do the whole press thing with that. Take a month off for pre-production, and then start production.
Yeah, makes sense. Jordan Peele?
Yeah, there has been a lot of. If you haven't seen Get Out, which is Jordan Peele's new movie, which just dominated the box office last week, everyone is rave reviews about it. Every single thing about it, everyone is loving. So a lot of people are saying, is he going to get snapped up by one of the big movie houses to do a superhero film?
Yeah.
And he's come out and said no. He doesn't have any urge to do that at this time because Get Out is a very socially commenting. It's a horror film with social commentary.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's relevant for right now.
Exactly. Well,
It's
he
commenting
says
on what's happening now.
exactly. He says that he's got 3 or 4 of those types of horror films planned.
Okay.
Not necessarily all related,
Yeah.
but the same sort of thing where they're going to be doing heavy social commentary.
I say let him run with it.
No, 'cause-
let him keep going.
I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan.
Really, really good. Lego Movie 2? Seriously?
Yeah, Lego Movie 2, which is in the works.
Yeah.
Has been said that it's actually going to be a musical,
I just
like full on musical and space opera. It's going to take place in space.
I'm actually. Is it weird that I'm really excited about that?
Dude, we love the first one. I still haven't seen Lego Batman yet, but we do have.
We'll talk about
We
it
do have Lego
when you
Batman
do see it.
tangential news coming up in a
Okay.
different section.
Yeah, I'll talk about it then.
The last bit of like random real reviews news is Keanu Reeves was asked about a potential Matrix 4 because obviously they're in pre-production on Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah.
He's kind of going back to the well on a couple of things like this. He said if the Wachowskis were to come back and write the script and direct, he's on board.
Do you know how bad I want to see a Matrix 4? Look, man. I'm not with all those. No, honestly, 2 and 3.
2 and 3
fine.
definitely had their issues. But if
But
you
I
take them as
still
a whole
really
trilogy,
enjoyed them.
especially when you intercut the Animatrix cartoons,
Yeah.
has
Those
a-
are really good.
has a
and,
much deeper depth to it.
and I think I've said this before on this show, probably. Some of the choreography and the fight scenes and stuff in episode 2 or in the second one in Matrix 2 were phenomenal.
One of my favorite things in Matrix 2 was the freeway scene.
Yeah, with
Okay?
the twins flying over the things and all that.
Forget the twins forever, but
I
just
like the twins.
the twins were cool,
We'll
but
take
the
the twins with
logistics of the freeway scene,
Yeah.
because they built a whole 1.5 mile long freeway for this scene. But what I love about like if you've seen, I still haven't gotten you to see all the Fast and Furious movies yet. You really have to take Fast and Furious with a grain of salt, right? But at the end of the 6th one, there's it's a car battle with a big old plane, right? Yes, I just did say that. But it literally lasts for like 17 minutes.
This is the sixth one you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes place on a runway, and it goes for like 17 minutes. And so somebody calculated it's like the length of that runway had to be like 7 miles long for that to actually happen.
Oh, I love it.
But what I loved in the way that they coordinated the fight scenes and the car movements in the Matrix one is they were going back and forth on on-ramps and off-ramps and cutting back.
Oh, for sure.
And so it made sense that they were like on a mile length of freeway.
Right. That was a tangent.
A little bit, but yeah. I'm actually a big fan of it. I've actually written a scholarly article about the Matrix movies and whatnot. So I appreciate them as a whole, as a universe, much more than the first one's great. The rest suck.
I actually wrote about the Matrix 2 in college.
Awesome.
Look at you. Look at us.
Look at us.
Writing things. Okay, real reviews. Where are we at? Casting.
Just a couple quick casting calls. Shamar Moore, who is most recently been famous. He was in Criminal Minds for 10 seasons. He has just been cast in the new SWAT reboot.
Oh, okay.
If you remember, SWAT was a famous TV show in the 70s. It actually had a #1 song as their theme song.
Right.
Or their theme song was a #1 song. And then they did a reboot in 2003 with Colin Farrell, and then they had a sequel. This is going back to TV.
Nice.
Very much like they've done Training Day, Lethal Weapon, Hawaii Five-0, stuff like that. Also, one of the writers from The Newsroom, which was the Aaron Sorkin show.
Yeah.
One of the guys from the staff room was Matthew Lopez, and he is writing and directing a movie called Chaos Walking.
I like the name.
Which is another YA dystopian future sort of thing. But it's cast Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland at the leads.
Really?
Seriously. Yeah,
Really?
so Daisy Ridley, Rey in Star Wars,
Obviously.
and Tom Holland, Spider-Man in the
And
Marvel.
Homecoming, yeah. And, wow.
So they're going to be the leads in this Chaos Walking, and it looks pretty darn good.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, so that's just been announced.
Sweet, dude.
We've got some unofficial and official release dates. The unofficial release date we have is the actor who plays Sir Davros from Game of Thrones.
The Onion Knight.
Has come out and said that most of the Game of Thrones shows have come out in May. Looks like it's pushed back to July.
That's all right.
That's what he knows, but that's the only firm date we've gotten from
I don't
anybody.
care. When it happens, it happens. It's going to be amazing.
The firm dates we've gotten is Trolls 2, which was just nominated for an Oscar, with Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick. Has been greenlit for Trolls 2, and that's going to be coming out April 10th of 2020.
Let's just put it for 2020, right? That makes the most sense.
And then Atomic Blonde, which is a new movie with, I didn't write down because I knew I was going to like it, but I believe it's Charlize Theron.
That's fine. I can open it
But
up.
it's a new action movie, and it's seriously, give me
all things considered,
yeah,
we're
Charlize
making
Theron.
pretty good time.
Yeah, Charlize Theron, and there were two people that directed John Wick.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy who left John Wick 2, and he's now going to be doing Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Matt Reeves, it's the
David
other one.
Leitch. This guy?
Yeah, what's his name?
David Leitch? I don't know how to say it. L-E-I-
David Leitch.
Le-
He is going to be doing Atomic Blonde, and it's based on a graphic novel from a few years ago.
Kick ass.
And then this is the big news that I love. Love Actually is getting together.
Oh, God. Here we go.
This is 14 years after the original.
Yep.
They're not doing a full movie.
Oh.
There's a charity in England called the Red Nose Day, and it happens March 24th every year. And it's very much like how we have like we do the gaming.
Extra Life.
Extra Life. It's to raise money for children's charities.
Yep.
It's like this. It's like just a day to give back to kids in charity, right?
Indeed.
And so they do a whole bunch of things. Well, they're doing a 10-minute movie that tells you what's happened in the 14 years since. And Emma Thompson is actually not going to be in it.
Are you serious?
Well, because if you remember, in her role, her husband was Alan Rickman.
No memory of it.
And Alan Rickman is no longer
that's
with us, so she's
right,
not going to
'cause
be
he
in it because
died.
that whole storyline.
Oh,
So,
that's heartbreaking.
but it's going to have Liam. It's going to have Hugh Grant. It's going to have Keira Knightley.
Right.
It's going to have Chiwetel Ejiofor. It's going to have the only other person who's also not going to be it is Andrew Lincoln, who's gone on to do Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
But they are bringing back Thomas Sangster, who was in Phineas and Ferb. He was in Game of Thrones.
Love
He played
Phineas
the
and
little
Ferb.
boy. Yeah, so I love Love Actually. I
I
love
know
those
you do.
things done by working title, but it's going to be a cool thing. It's going to be coming out in a few weeks.
Sounds good. Here's what I want to do with the trailers.
Yes.
I don't want to go full trailer time.
No, we can't go full trailer.
We can't because we're 2 hours behind schedule and I might pass on. So here's what I want to do. I want to do, dare I say, because trailer time is so much fun. I kind of want to do DuckTales.
Okay, should we list off to the...
Oh yeah, let's throw it out there.
Okay, for you listeners, get into chat right now. Okay? We're going to list the trailers we have,
Indeed.
and if we get more than one request for any trailer, we'll watch that trailer.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Should I list them off?
Yeah.
For our audio people. We have War Machine, 5 Came Back, Bright, Cars 3, DuckTales, that's just a quick first look, Chips, it's a Red Band trailer, Kong Skull Island, the last theatrical trailer, which we would probably talk about, Alien Covenant, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Now, here's the thing about the last two. We're going to watch those no matter what.
Yeah, those two are
'Cause
definite.
Neither of us have actually made the time to watch them because we wanted to do it here.
Right, I specifically haven't watched them. The
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy one, it's the last official trailer.
Yeah.
They're going to, of course, have TV spots and stuff. This is the first official full-length trailer of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
This is also the first official trailer for Cars 3. Like we said, it's the last official trailer for Kong. And it's the second official trailer for Alien
Okay.
Covenant.
So I think what we'll do is we've got a couple responses already. What I think we should do is watch. I want to save the Pirates one for last.
Right.
So why don't we watch Guardians?
Let's watch Guardians first, give people more time to put in words.
Exactly. Look at us. It's like we're on the same page.
I know, right?
I still hate you.
I hate you so much.
Okay. Rude. Am I doing this right? That's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
That's how I want to do it. All right, ready? Here we go. Trailer time. We all love trailer time. Do we need slider boy? Here we go.
Hope you're ready. It'll be here any minute. Is that a rifle?
You don't know what a rifle looks like?
It's just swords were your thing and guns were mine. But I guess we were both doing guns now. I just didn't know that.
Well, that's intense.
I see it within you. Fear, jealousy, betrayal. It is our duty to cleanse the universe of this weakness.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags, but that isn't true at all. Dude! I'm using my wrong eye.
Drew, put your seatbelt on! So we're saving the galaxy again? Yep. Awesome! We're really gonna be able to jack up our price if we're two-time galaxy savers. Sometimes the thing you're searching for your whole life is right there by your side all along.
You're right.
All you do is yell at each other. You're not friends.
No, we're family.
Except maybe her.
After all these years, I've found you.
And who the hell are you?
I'm your dad, Peter.
What? All right.
Okay, I have 3 things to say about this.
Can I say my first thing?
Yeah.
Because I like to interrupt you. I think Gamora needs a bigger gun in that one scene. I think that they
I don't think it's
really
big enough.
undersold it.
Absolutely.
I think that's important. Continue.
One, and everyone else in the chat has already reflected this, is that Guardians of the Galaxy hits it out of the park with their soundtracks.
Oh God, I love every song. Always.
Yeah.
Continue.
2, I cannot wait to hear more Baby Groot. I am Groot.
I am Groot. Press the button.
I am Groot. And 3, that was our first official look at Ego the Living Planet.
As a man?
As a man. Well, he's a living planet.
I'm okay with him being a man.
Well, it's Kurt Russell as a man.
Kurt Russell. I'll watch him all day.
Yeah. So now he's in Marvel, and he's also in Fast and the Furious. So this is awesome for him. He's having a total resurgence.
Yeah, it's badass. I loved that trailer. I just love everything that's Guardians.
I love Dave Bautista's Drax.
Oh my God, dude.
I love it when he's jumping into the mouth of that space slug and he's like laughing.
Laughing to no end. I love it. All right, so we had some votes we had a vote for War Machine. We had a vote for DuckTales. I think DuckTales is a first look. We might do that no matter what real quick.
Yeah, let's do DuckTales really quick. And War Machine I'm on board with. It's the new Brad Pitt movie.
Is it?
Yes.
All right, I'm in. That sounds fine. So what else did I like about that trailer? I liked I'm
glad they're giving Yondu a bigger part.
Well, I loved and this is something that the first movie did really well. When they have those slow-mo moments where it's not like, oh, they're doing a slow-mo moment just to look cool.
Right.
It's like with Yondu walking in slow-mo and then whistling for his arrow to come back to him,
right?
is freaking badass.
And dude, Michael Rooker is awesome in everything.
He is so good. All right. Here we are.
All right. DuckTales. Woo-hoo.
Okay, and so a little background. I love DuckTales.
Oh, yeah.
I watched all of them back in the day. It was just one of the things you did. I don't know what this is going to be about, but I'm so excited.
Okay, you do know that if DuckTales survive, I mean, if it does well, hopefully we'll get a Darkwing Duck, maybe.
Oh, if Darkwing Duck comes back, I'm going to flip out.
Tailspin?
Tailspin was great. Also, you know what else was in that same time frame, which is about to go away because of Toontown?
Rescue Rangers?
Rescue Rangers. Exactly. Look at us in our Disney.
I know, right?
Moving on.
Destination, McDuck Manor.
McDuck Manor? As in Scrooge McDuck? The bajillionaire? You're finally gonna sell us.
Do it, make Scrooge McDuck.
Are you really our uncle? How old are you? You used to be a big deal. Whatever happened to you?
Used to be a big deal. I'm Scrooge McDuck. I made my name being tougher than the toughies and smarter than the smarties.
Sure, want to do it the easy way.
Oh my gosh, the nephews! What are your blood types? What's Donald really like? Who's the evil triplet?
Louie. We're just a normal, boring family.
Normal? Boring? Ha! Donald Duck is one of the most daring adventurers of all time!
I run a multi-trillion-dollar business. I can handle a few juveniles for the weekend. Besides, we've got a pretty low-key day planned. I'm back! Uncharted territory! Whoa, new discoveries!
You guys, our family is awesome!
Aw, family truly is the greatest adventure.
Oh no, the ground!
Can I just say a couple things real quick about that?
Absolutely.
I like that it's very much okay, I'm gonna admit something, and you know this already. My wife and I and the kids watched a lot of
Girl Meets World.
Well, that too.
Liv and Maddie.
Nope. Stop.
Fuller House.
Stop it. You're killing my image. No, I'm talking about shoot, now I forgot. What's the show? Cartoon.
Phineas and Ferb.
My Little Pony. Okay. Now the reason I'm saying this, I know, and now they hit the mic away. But what I like about it is there are certain episodes, and this is what resonated with me. There are certain episodes that focus on the kid ponies, right? Not the main characters.
Right.
What I like about what I just saw here is that it's not necessarily about Scrooge McDuck and Donald Duck. This is going to be about the kids, and this is going to appeal to the kids. I like that it's on Disney XD. I like that it's the same channel that we get Star Wars Rebels and everything else on. I think my kids are going to absolutely love this show.
Oh, yeah. It's not designed for us.
Well, and I get that, but at the same time it is, because we grew up watching the original one, right?
Right.
So it's that perfect little, I don't know, envelope of past and present, I guess.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Very much how Girl Meets World was for you.
And Fuller House and all the other things you rattled off that now everybody knows. So thank you. Here we are.
Yep. All right. So War Machine.
Oh, okay. So we'll do War Machine and then we'll close with Pirates and we'll move on. Have we got other votes? I'm not looking at chat. I can't look at chat.
No, there's no more votes in chat.
Good.
I mean, I personally would like to watch Chips. But that's just me.
Why don't we just watch all of them then and be here until freaking 2 a.m?
Hey, at least I'm
not really upset.
At least I'm not making you watch 5 Come Back, which is a documentary about how Hollywood reacted to World War II.
That sounds amazing, but terrible at the same time. Amazing in the fact that I would watch it, but I wouldn't watch a trailer about it.
I gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? All right, War Machine and then
Chips and then Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Our hope is that you're the man who will get the job done.
I can't tell the difference between the people and the enemy. They all look alike to me.
You're the leader of U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and you have spoken to the president once in 70 days.
That, General, you must know, is a war you will never win.
May I help you?
No, finish your phone call. The war can wait.
I guess
is he playing Stanley McChrystal?
I don't know. I'm confused. I thought this was a movie. This is a...
Well, no, it's a Netflix movie.
It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I'm looking at this real quick.
Well, very much like Bright is also a Netflix movie.
It's original films inspired by the book The Operators, which is the Operators: the wild and terrifying inside story of America's war in Afghanistan by late journalist Michael Hastings. I don't know anything about it.
Cool.
I'm in.
I mean, I'd watch it just for Brad Pitt's accent.
All right, fine. Now it's Chips time. I'm seriously joking. I really don't care.
First of all, the first trailer we watched of this was flipping hilarious.
No, I know.
And this one's Red Band, dude, and it's filthy.
In 10 degrees to the left. Think he's in one piece?
Clay, you're back already, dude? That's great.
You fucking ass.
I know what happened. Sorry. We got off kilter. As far as where it's at. What's happening here? Oh, because it's not playing on the thing. Okay.
Oh, that's a weird way to thank me for saving your life, buddy, but you're welcome.
Oh, shooting me was an act of kindness.
Easy, nobody shoot.
Go move, Taco!
What's wrong with you?
You gotta stop.
What? What'd you do? No, it's because it's not playing on... I had it set up for... Oh, just hold on a minute. Since we're all very excited about this trailer, just give me a minute. Sons of goats, I tell you. It's always something with you people. I gotta watch this trailer because it's gonna be amazing. Seriously joking, obviously.
I hate you so much.
Okay, there we go. Let's undo that. Put that bad boy there. We'll just go ahead and do a little bit of this.
In 10 degrees to the left. Think he's in one piece?
Clay, you're back already, dude? That's great.
You fucking asshole.
Oh, that's a weird way to thank me for saving your life, buddy, but you're welcome.
Oh, shooting me was an act of kindness.
Easy, nobody shoot.
Go move, Taco!
What's wrong with you?
You gotta stop shooting Alan.
That was my bad.
California Highway Patrol. That's for helping an armored car job. Think some of their own were involved. I want you to go on the inside.
Go undercover within the department? That's awesome.
You're going to be with a rookie named John Baker. You're going to be Francis Llewellyn Poncherello.
That's a fucked up name. Are the first two female names?
John, none of these scores meet the lowest standards. You've had 23 surgeries?
I feel pretty darn good. I'm on a pharmaceutical regimen. That helps a lot.
Really bad. If you can't handle a motorcycle, I'll give you that.
Yes, ma'am. Like a motherfucker.
I like you.
Thank you.
You have nice eyes.
Thank you.
What's up, I'm John. Poncho. Awesome, man. We're partners. Pretty badass. Being suited up for battle.
Looking like UPS drivers? Yeah, that's super cool.
This job is crucial to saving my marriage.
What are you wearing?
My uniform. I thought you'd finally want to see what I look like.
In all brown? It's great, John.
It's like you're 3 beers too intimate.
I'm a tough motorcycle cop. I got no emotion.
Good job.
Find dirty cops.
These bikes will never catch those! Great job!
Ahora están compensando por una verga.
Are you guys talking shit at me?
They just said they like the bikes.
He was pointing at my dick. I feel like I have Pino. I think it's small.
He said a little so buff that you make the bikes look tiny.
Oh.
You have to take it off.
I hope that you're not preying on girls with low self-esteem.
How are you judging them? Like by their hair? Like how straight their teeth are? Yeah, that's really shallow. Real talk. She ate my butt. She ate your ass? Everyone's eating everyone's ass. What about hygiene? If you go to the bathroom and you see baby wipes, green lights.
You have 24 hours to solve this case before you fight.
There's no way to track this guy.
Why don't you scan his face?
We don't have a fucking bat computer.
Right.
Just Google.
You could carry me over that fast.
I'll drag you there, but I'm not going to grade you like a newborn.
I saved your life.
I knew you were going to bring that up. Just get it over with.
Did you face plant into my pubic bone?
No.
I could have swore I felt either your nose or your lips.
Might have been like a little bit of contact.
When you get intimate with these gals, is oral expected, like with the butt?
Oh yeah, that's standard, boss.
That's standard. A lot of things have changed.
We probably should have put a disclaimer out there that said we were watching the Red Band one.
We did say Red Band.
Yeah, we did. We didn't give him much time, but it's fine.
So
there's not a
I
chance I'm seeing that movie in the theater.
So I guess licking the
Okay, all right.
Is
this
standard?
is why we don't watch Red Band trailers, because then you get all worked up, and then you want to start. This is not a Red Band podcast.
Good point.
So that movie looks terrible, and there's not a chance I'm going to see that in the theater.
I am hoping that there's a double feature of that with Baywatch.
Okay, if that happens, I'm in.
Dude, we'll get hammered and then go see it.
Sounds great.
Dude, you got to remember, we went and saw Dude, Where's My Car in theaters.
I have no memory of that movie. All right, let's watch our last trailer and move on with our I don't know, lives, podcast. I don't know. 1 second.
Of course, leave it to my brother to say licky da boom boom.
Okay. See? Again, why we don't usually watch Red Band trailers. I'm actually really excited about this. Dead Man Tells No Tales. This is the last theatrical trailer, right?
First. They had a teaser. Now the first
I'm
official.
thinking of the... Yep, this is the first one.
Yeah, Kong
Okay.
had the last one.
Here we go.
Pirates had infected the seas for generations. So I vowed to eliminate them all. And then there was this boy, Jack Sparrow. Follow him in! He took everything from me and filled me with rage.
The dead have taken command of the sea. They're searching for Pearl, a girl, and a sparrow.
I have heard stories of a mighty Spanish captain whose hunted and killed thousands of men.
No, men, no. Pirates. Pirates.
I once knew a Spaniard named something in Spanish.
He's coming for you, Jack.
Where's your ship? Your crew? Your pants? Jack! I'm so sorry, were you still talking?
There's nowhere to hide. Find Sparrow for me.
From this moment on, we are to be allies.
Considering we're your left-handers, I'd say we're more than that.
horrible way to live.
You will pay for what you did to me.
Men on that ship are looking for Jax. I'm going to swim for it.
Kareem, stop that.
No, don't stop that.
This has gone far enough.
No, it has not.
I saw her ankles.
You'd have seen a lot more if you kept your cake hole shut.
Well, this show got very lewd. I'll tell you what, man. I'm kind of sad that's the last one, but one of the things that I absolutely love about those movies is freaking music, man.
Oh, the music's fantastic.
It's one of my favorite soundtracks. I know I'm looking for my skulls. Hold on.
The music is fantastic. I'm actually going to reference another movie in this series a little bit later.
Okay.
But we'll get to that in the Marvel section.
All right, man. Let's. We're almost done.
Yeah. So let's do rapid fire here.
Rapid fire.
We have one bit of comic news. You and I are both watching Riverdale.
I did see that. Riverdale's good, man.
Riverdale is good. It seriously is like your quintessential CW show, but mixed with Twin Peaks.
But also not as CW as it could be.
True.
Like it could be like way more teen drama-y, but it's.
I would say it's closer to Scream drama-y.
Okay, yeah.
More of like the older teenage drama.
Indeed.
Right. So they have a one-shot that's coming out that tells the story before the death of Jason.
Okay, I'm in.
We only have 2 bits of Berlanti news. One is they've actually come out and said that next season is going to be the first true 4-episode crossover.
Okay.
Because this season with Invasion, they had the 3 episodes and then Super kind of introed.
Supergirl wasn't all the way linked.
They weren't all the way into it because they didn't have time to set up from when they joined from CBS.
The upside to that is it gives me time to catch up on Supergirl.
Yeah, you need to.
Look, I got a lot of things to watch. Continue.
And then last of all, season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow just wrapped this week.
Yeah.
And the finale is going to air April 4th.
All right.
I just watched the most recent episode last night. Phenomenal.
Was that the Washington one?
No.
No, the one before that.
No, after that.
Okay. I'm a little behind.
You're a little behind.
Oh, don't judge. Be rude.
Now we're moving on to DCEU. Monolith is a board game company, and they are just about to start a Kickstarter for a new Batman board game based on the same concept as their Conan game, which is really popular right now.
Okay, cool.
And people that have played the demo of it say it's phenomenal.
Nice. I like board games like that where Kate got a couple on the Kickstarter stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Exactly.
It's nice.
As we said in the last episode, Ben Affleck has stepped down as the director of the Batman.
Right.
They've officially signed on Matt Reeves, who is the guy who, with the other guy who's going to be doing Atomic Blonde, did the original John Wick. And he also did the 2 most popular Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, but I thought I saw a couple conflicting stories saying he was kind of, although they said it like maybe he was waffling a little bit, but
it was kind of going back and forth, but he's been officially signed.
Okay, good, cool.
Not only that, but yesterday they announced Nightwing.
This is a big deal.
Is a big deal, and they officially signed a director. It's going to be Chris McKay, who just directed Lego Batman.
And we're doing movie, not TV show.
Right. This is a full-on movie.
Right.
And if you don't know Nightwing, it's Dick Grayson, who was the original Robin,
right,
who later on became Nightwing.
Right.
And the reason why they kind of chose to give it to Chris McKay is he nailed that interaction between Robin and Batman in Lego Batman.
And what's really kind of crazy though too is Nightwing is so popular, like in the I guess the comic world.
Oh, absolutely,
he's super popular, and hopefully they do it right and do that justice, because I think that's a big deal for the DCU.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's as big as like Deadpool getting it, but he's definitely a cult following like that
for sure.
Oh
God, I put this in here for you.
Oh, I put these in too.
Well, where did I put mine?
I don't know.
Moving on. I put the Academy Award.
Oh, that's what you did.
Yeah.
So we might delineate pop culture from before Suicide Squad won an Academy Award,
post,
and after Suicide Squad won an Academy Award.
So as much shit as that, as much flack as that movie got,
and actually I enjoy it.
I did too, but it got a lot of flack.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a now Academy Award winning Suicide Squad.
Yeah, well, granted, it did win for makeup, which is, if it was going to win for anything, it was going to win it.
But not a single other Marvel movie has won one.
Really?
I read the article.
Interesting. But other than that, what do you think about Mel Gibson in talks to direct Suicide Squad 2?
We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Well, he's come out and confirmed that, yeah, he is in actual talks.
No, I know. We talked about it. Remember? Because it was a short list, and I was like...
Well, he was on the short list.
Yeah.
But now Gibson has actually come out and confirmed it.
Oh, he actually...
It was only from the other side.
Okay, so what do I think about it? I think that he is a crazy person.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think...
He's a brilliant director,
I think
though.
a crazy person directing Suicide Squad makes a lot of sense.
You know, I didn't think about it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
Right?
I know, right?
Who else are you going to get a... I mean, I think he might see it in a way that would make it absolutely brilliant. I think that's...
He might get to the core character of the Joker and Harley Quinn.
I'm in like Flynn in a bin, as they say.
All right, so the last bit of DC rumor news is that Wonder Woman's just coming up here in a few months.
Yep.
And that Batfleck might be making an appearance.
Ooh.
And honestly, the one thing about it that I'm not sure about is because the movie actually takes place back in World War I.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to be there.
Bruce Wayne's not that old, unless it's going to be in a post-credit scene.
Maybe.
Which kind of makes sense. But if you've noticed, anything they've released with DCEU since everything has had Batfleck in it.
True.
Except for Man of Steel.
Good point.
Right? But he was in Batman v Superman. He made an appearance in Suicide Squad. If he doesn't make an appearance in Gotham City Sirens, I'm going to be disappointed because it's got Catwoman and...
He'll be there for sure. If he shows up in the other one, he's going to show up in this one.
I think he's the nexus of everything.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. They'll figure out how to do it to where it's not lame.
Right. I think
like all of a sudden he's 100 and something years old.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to have to...
Unless they bring the Lazarus Pit in.
Ooh. Speaking of which, and actually I didn't put it in here, but they just cast the Ra's al Ghul for Gotham.
Ooh. Who is it?
Somebody that looked familiar, but I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
It is what it is. We'll talk about it next week. Disney.
Coco, which is the next Pixar movie. It looks like that the first trailer for that could get released on Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I'm guessing it's going to be heavily marketed at D23.
Indeed. We also have a pushback for, look, we've had so much Deadpool 2 drama, man. So they're pushing back production.
Yeah, about a month and a half. And this is coming from the Directors Guild of Canada because they do filming in Vancouver. And they're just saying that in the shot sheets they're getting, it looks like it's getting pushed back a month.
Cool.
David Harbour, who played the cop in Stranger Things,
really?
He was also in The Newsroom.
I like him.
He is now shot to the top of the short list for cable.
Are you serious?
Yes. He went from being talked about to now he's the front runner.
I'm kind of in on that, dude.
Yeah, I like him. I loved him in The Newsroom. I thought he was great in Stranger Things.
He did a really good job in Stranger Things.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite things in Stranger Things.
Favorite things.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
We got a lot of casting for the new X-Men series, even though we don't have a title yet. But just running down the list here, Stephen Moyer from True Blood has been cast as Reed. Amy Acker, who played the cellist in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is cast as Kate Stewart, his wife. Emma Dumont from Pretty Little Liars is cast as Polaris. And Stephen Teal, who's from Incorporated, is cast as Eclipse, who is a brand new mutant that they're creating for this show.
Oh, really?
Not in any other canon. But his mutant power is that he can control individual photons.
Really?
Yes.
Honestly, I'm really excited for whatever this X-Men show is going to be, but I have not. Have you started watching Legion yet?
I watched the first episode, but I haven't watched the second.
I'm waiting for Kate to get back from New York, but I cannot wait. We have the first 4 episodes.
Yeah,
or whatever
it's a little
recorded.
twisted.
No, I can't wait, and I don't know. That just made me think about that. All right, so Rowling.
J.K. Rowling tweeted out a picture of the first page of. I mean, it just showed the title, but she's officially into writing the Fantastic Beasts 2 script.
Cool, awesome. And really, I did not see this.
All right, so
that can't be real.
It is. All right, so first Marvel news is Avengers: Infinity War, and it looks like, and this is getting released from a subcontractor, I believe, but it looks like that the overall budget for the Infinity War is going to be $1 billion.
Okay, can I ask a couple questions? My first question is, what is Do you know the highest growth, like the highest budget for a film?
And this is where I go back to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yes, the highest budget, official budget previously was on Stranger Tides. The fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie had an official budget of $378 million.
Let's see. I'm okay with that.
Okay, no, but this is where it's a little tricky.
Okay.
Is the Infinity War budget is supposedly going to include the Infinity War and Avengers 4 because they're filming them concurrently.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Okay. So if you look at it that way, it's $1 billion for two movies, which is about $500 million apiece.
That I can see.
To kind of give you some framework, the three Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy, the Fellowship, the Two Towers, and Return of the King, they were all filmed concurrently, and those all cost roughly $768 million, I think,
well,
somewhere in that ballpark, and that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So, considering, and I don't think it's really I don't think it's the production. Well, it is the production cost because it's put in there. But what I think is really driving it up is the fact that they're going to have 67 heroes on the screen.
Well, and that's the problem.
And when you're paying Robert Downey Jr. upwards of tens of millions of dollars alone, because like his Avengers 2 paycheck, I think was $50 million because he gets back end money as well.
So much money.
When you're getting the people in this instance, Infinity War is the last of a lot of people's contracts, including Downey, Hemsworth, Ruffalo. I mean, it's a lot of their last movies. They're all going to be getting balloon payments, I'm sure. Yeah, so a lot of it is going to salary.
All right. Black Widow?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson was walking down the red carpet at the Oscars, and somebody, of course, asked her about a Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
She said she's constantly in contact with Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Because she really wants it. Everybody really wants it.
We kind of talked about this last week, too.
Yeah, and Joss Whedon has actually come out. He said that the only way he would come back to do another superhero movie was for a Black Widow title.
I'll be sick. I'm in.
So, there's no news or anything. This is one of those quintessential comicbook.com no news is news things. But it's just cool that it's always in the forefront of at least Scarlett Johansson's mind.
Cool. Some Inhuman stuff, and then my convention stuff, and then we're out like trout.
Yeah, we got some more Inhumans casting. So again, this is they decided not to do a full-length movie of Inhumans. What they're doing is they're doing a TV show with a 2-hour premiere episode released in IMAX.
Nice. Yeah.
They've cast they had a couple of people already cast, but they've started casting main characters. The main star is Maximus.
Mm-hmm.
And that is being played by Ewan Rion. And that is the guy who played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones.
Oh my God. Yes.
So he's going to be the lead.
I like that guy.
Anson Mount from Hell on Wheels is classed as Black Bolt.
Okay.
Who is the one who can't talk.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a physical presence.
Yep.
And then Ken Leung, who was in Lost, and I think he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too, is cast as Karnak.
Nice.
So that's it that I have.
I'm really looking forward to Inhumans, man, honestly.
So am I.
So let me do my convention stuff, man, and we'll get out of here. Big thing, and we've been talking about the last few weeks, is when are they going to come up with, when is returning registration going to start? When is press going to open?
Right.
They're at least 2 months behind on all this stuff.
They are.
So, well, if you look back at when they normally
historically.
do. Yeah. So, first of all, press opened up, and this was last week.
I still need to do my paperwork yet.
Yeah, and I haven't done mine yet. It's fine. Press opened up last week. Super stoked about it. Actually, just a few days ago. And just a couple days ago, we got returning registration news. Finally, I have a link in the show notes for that. If you have not got your member ID in for open registration, which means returning registration is basically people who went last year have an opportunity to buy tickets before everybody else has a chance, right? So if you are trying to get in, you've never been before, get your member ID and get that going. But returning registration, I have a link in the show notes. It looks very similar to what it's been, except if I buy a ticket for you, me, and Kate, for example, they're going to go to each of us instead of just me.
As long as you purchase it before a certain date.
Exactly. So returning registration is happening next Saturday on March 11th, and that's at 9 a.m. The lobby opens at 8. Good luck.
We'll be doing it.
Good luck. So what sucks about this is, especially first-time press, which we're technically considered as, even though I've had press before, we are going to have to buy our tickets and then hope we get press and get refunded for the tickets. And that's usually how it works.
Right.
which kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm excited about it. We have a chance at it. We'll let you know next week how we did.
But I will tell you that we are now both officially approved for press at Silicon Valley Comic-Con.
Which we need to solidify to figure out if we're going.
Yeah. Luckily, it's a shorter weekend, and it's much closer for us.
Oh, yeah.
So like we did last year, we just took Friday off of work and we went.
And I imagine we're gonna go. We just gotta get.
We're gonna try to solidify. We don't have a place to stay this year, so we're gonna have to get a hotel. But they're actually doing a outdoor thing, much like they do at Comic-Con in San Diego, which is great.
Well, they've realized that if you have stuff that's going on outside the convention center, you get more of a draw, and I think that's super
exactly.
important.
Plus, there was like nothing nearby.
Right.
The San Jose Convention Center.
Right.
But if you live in the Bay Area and you want to do it, maybe we can come up with a meet and greet at a bar.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, let's start figuring that out.
Absolutely.
And one last thing, just as for fun, I have a link in the show notes for this Game of Thrones fan SDCC pub crawl.
Okay, I'm on board with this. I want to do this because if you notice, I hadn't caught up on I'd only watched the first half of the first season by last Comic-Con. And then since then, I've binged it and I'm all caught up and I'm all on board.
Yeah.
I am seriously.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, dude. I can't wait. So we'll let you know if we get in on that. But either way, and just as a leading up to this, SDCC Undercover blog. They do their offsite event page. I'll try to put a link in the show notes. If not, we'll talk about it next week. But as these things pop up, they like to post those on there. So even if you don't have tickets to the convention, you're in the area, you can still find stuff to do.
Well, I mean, this is going to be my 6th year, your 7th year, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, and
or maybe it's 5 and 6, something like
that. But of those years, there were 3 years I didn't have any tickets.
Right. But man, did we have a good time.
Oh, we do.
So
and it's even nicer when we have a hotel room.
Which we will again this year. You ready?
Ready.
Thanks for tuning in to the usual podcast, and thank you for bearing with us 2 hours later and all our technical difficulties. We love all of you.
I would like to point out that if we didn't have the 2-hour delay, we'd be finishing up at 9:30.
Thank you.
This is like our shortest show in months.
Well, here we are. So if you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And, of course, on Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. And, of course, we are on right now, twitch.tv/usualpodcast. I'm at Darth Pops on Twitter. Will is at Ammo Griggs. We're on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. Give us a positive rating and all that kind of stuff. And please like us and share us when you see us. If you want to help the show out, $1 or $2 an episode, we'll get you access to our blooper reels, which I do every single week in a special folder that I get just for you. Patreon.com/usualpodcast. That's the way to help us out financially. Another way to do it, audibletrial.com/usualpodcast. If you like audiobooks, that gives us $15 if you start a free trial on us, and you get a free audiobook. You can get something as extensive as a Game of Thrones novel. See what I did there?
You could, or anything from the Brandon Sanderson catalog.
All of those are 40+ hours. You're welcome for free.
Or pick up Empire's End.
Do any of those things, or just wait till the Thrawn novel comes out. Whatever you do, it helps us. We appreciate it.
Or seriously, just pick up any book.
Do a thing. Just look. We're only asking for you to do a thing.
Do the damn. You know what we're asking you to do? We're asking you to have a fun.
Oh, please have a fun. Do it right and have a fun.
Absolutely.
We'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Oh my God, I'm going to pee my pants.
Seriously, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us. I know it's late, especially for those of you in the Midwest and East Coast.
Yes. Thank you.
Seriously, you guys are the reason why we do this, and we stick it out through all of Marshall's technical problems.
Oh my God, I almost gave up and curled up on the couch.
Seriously, he was having issues, and I'm glad we were able to work it out. And seriously, guys, thank you so much, because this is we always have a fun because of you guys.
Indeed. So I'm gonna sign out prematurely. We love all of you.
You're always a little premature.
Okay, well, that's wildly inappropriate.
That's why it's in the patron section.
Indeed. Thanks, JT, for being there. Steve, you're awesome, and we lost some people along the way, but thank you all very much.
Yes, thank you everybody for listening. Bye.
Peace out. Oh my God, I didn't do it. I didn't hit the